Hi guys, my name is Mike Adewale. Welcome to Liberty Music. So today we're going to be talking about music note relationship, a mathematical approach. So the concept of music note is such that we need to understand the relationship between note A and B. That is, how many of note A can I get in note B? So we're going to be using a mathematical approach to unravel this issue, especially if you are new to music and you find it difficult, you're a beginner, to recognize or to understand how many notes or to interpret how many of these notes can I get in note B, how many quavers are there in semibrieve, how many crotchets are there in a meaning, and so on and so forth. So how do you understand this relationship? So we're going to be using a mathematical approach to unravel this concept. And don't be scared, because I know many people who are not too cool with mathematics here and there, but I am going to blow your mind. Trust me, it's going to be very, very simple. It's going to be very, very simple, and you're going to see it here. I'll blow your mind, trust me. So just follow me and let's get into work. So the first example, before I go into all of that, I mentioned certain thing in our previous lesson concerning music notes categorization and music note hierarchy. So I mentioned a body part in passing. So let us quickly examine what body part is, because we're going to need that in order to do justice to music note value relationship. So we have this note, this note happens to be one of the music notes that has the complete body part. So this is a quaver note. I call it a tail note. So it has the head, and here we have the stem, which is also body. Okay, it's called the body. So here we have the tail. Some people call it flag, but I'm cool with, I prefer tail, so I call it tail note. So there are a couple of notes. There are some notes that they are head only. If you watch a previous video, you see that we have notes that are head only. Then we have notes that the uniqueness is body. They have head and they also have body, which is the stem. So we call that stem notes. We have the notes under the head category, then we have notes under the body category, which is the stem note. Then we have the tail notes. There are a couple of notes that falls under the tail note. So these are the different body parts that we have in the music. There are also external body parts that are added once in a while, like the dot. They also play a significant role in increasing the value of the note, but we'll talk about that in our next lesson. So these are the three body parts that exist in the music notes. So we have the head, body, and the tail. So now let's go quickly into our example. So look at this example. In this example, we say that how many of these notes are there in this note? So what you need to look into is how many steps, like we said in our previous lesson, how many steps does it take to draw this? How many steps does it take to draw this? It takes one step, just room. That's all. But here it takes two steps. We have the head and we have the body. That's two. So we have two. And don't forget, we are dealing with two different notes. So we're going to always or oftentimes be having 2 as a constant, because we are dealing with 2 notes. If you are dealing with the same type of note, it's going to be 1. But because this is 2 notes, so we have just 2. Then 2 minus 1, that is 1. So, and when we say 2 raised to power 1 is 2. 2 raised to power 1 is 2, which means that we have 2 of these notes in this. Let's do another example. If we have this note, how many of these notes do we have in this? We already have this type of notes here, so we know we have 2 here. But how many do we have here? We have the head, we have this, we have this, that's 3. Then we shade the head, that's 4. Okay, so we are dealing with 2 different notes, so that is the constant. So 4 minus 2, that's 2 raised to power 2. So we have 2 raised to power 2. So 2 raised to power 2 simply means 2 times 2, which is equal to 4, which means we have 4 of these notes in this. Can we still go further? Okay, let's try out this note. So how many of these notes do we have in this? Okay, so here we have 1, but here we have 4, right? Yeah, 4. So we've done this before. 1, 4. So we are dealing with 2 different notes, so 2 is our constant. So 4 minus 1, we have 3. So that's raised to power 3, which gives us the 2 times 2 times 2. That is 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So which means we have 8 of these notes in this. Simple. So for you to understand how to get the relationship between 2 notes, you have to go through this mathematical approach. You can see it's very straightforward. If you are dealing with 2 different notes, you are going to have 2 as constant. Then the number of steps it takes to draw each note will be written on it. Then you minus it, you subtract it, and that becomes your raised to power, and that gives you your answer quickly. So simple. So if you find value in this, kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.